There's a bridge on the outskirts of a forgotten town that locals won't cross after sunset, and they'll tell you it's not because of what you might see there, but what you'll hear. They say the bridge remembers. Every goodbye ever spoken on its stones stays there, trapped in the cold air that hangs above the water below. The story goes that the bridge was built over a century ago, connecting two halves of a community that would eventually drift apart. Over the decades, it became the place where people said their farewells, soldiers leaving for distant wars, lovers parting ways, families sending children off to new lives in faraway cities. All those goodbyes, whispered or shouted or choked back through tears, soaked into the worn stones like rain. Travelers began noticing something strange about 30 years back. Cross the bridge at twilight, they said, and you'd hear voices. Not your own thoughts, but actual conversations drifting up from the planks beneath your feet. Fragments of farewells spoken long before you were born. A woman's voice promising to write every week. A father telling his son to be brave. Words from the past still echoing in the present. Most people quickened their pace and hurried across, but some stopped to listen. One traveler reported standing there for nearly an hour, mesmerized by the overlapping whispers of strangers saying goodbye across generations. The voices never stopped, she said. They layered over each other like a choir of sorrow and hope and longing. She described the cold that crept up from the stones, how the air grew thick as the sun dipped below the horizon. Then she heard something that made her blood run cold. Her own voice, speaking words she'd never said to someone she couldn't see. The farewell was tender and final, the kind you speak when you know you'll never see someone again. But she hadn't said those words. Not yet. Others have reported the same thing. They cross the bridge, hear the echoes of 100 goodbyes, then recognize their own voice among them, speaking farewells they haven't given. Some say it's a warning. Others believe the bridge is simply remembering conversations that haven't happened yet, the same way it remembers those from the past. The locals avoid it now, taking the long road around. But every so often, someone new comes to town and decides to cross at dusk. And they say, if you stand on that bridge in the fading light and listen carefully, you might hear your own voice too, saying goodbye to someone you still have time to hold close. Subscribe to Wander Spooky Tales for more haunting tales.